In this game, the sunrise is scored by the EOS index. That includes the sky, setting, and conditions. Stack on top of that effort and discoveries, and you have the overall Zora score. Each expedition earns a gem, gems earn medals. Medals level up enough, and you just might find Zora, the perfect sunrise.
Let's go to Horton Creek. I always like to go to all trails to check out the trail ahead of time. That way I can see where might be the best places to look for the sunrises. I can also see what others are experiencing in recent visits they've had there as well. And then I'll check out the weather to make sure it will be good. And of course, we head to the U.S. Forest Web Service to make sure there aren't any restrictions or closures to be aware of. We discovered that the Horton Creek trailhead is closed for bridge construction, so we go down to the Derrick trailhead, which is very nearby. We ran into a bit of a snag on the way up. There was a roadway incident involving a semi-truck. That slowed us down for about 20 minutes. But once we got past that, it was smooth sailing and on to Derrick Trailhead. We can't wait to get there. When we arrived at the Derrick Trailhead parking lot, we were relieved to see there was at least one spot left for us, because there was so much activity all the way up with campers and other people enjoying the outdoors. Oh, is that the creek?
Careful.
It's supposed to run all year. I'm surprised it's dry at all. Well, we have some creek motion.
I need some flowers.
Beautiful flowers. Arrived at the Horton Creek Trail. First couple things that we've noticed is that in the 6 weeks since we were last here, the creek water level has significantly dropped. There are some areas with some pools, some areas with some running water, but by and far it is drastically lower. The area where we had trouble crossing before, completely bone dry. Second observation we have is that sky. It's a whole lot more cloudy action than we were expecting. We anticipated completely blue skies, and we're looking at a possibility of weather, so hopefully we don't run into any of that. Present situation, rain. Not heavy right now, but enough that it's a little concerning. We weren't really prepped for it, but we're going to keep moving because it's not supposed to rain much if it does. That's better than hiking next to a creek, honestly. It's gorgeous. I've hiked a lot of trails across Arizona, and Horton Creek still surprises me. You park near Tonto Creek and start climbing through Ponderosa country, and the whole way up there's water. Actual flowing water. What you're walking on used to be a wagon road. A cattle rancher named L.J. Horton settled here in the 1880s, picked this spot for the year-round water and the grass. The story goes that not long after he got established, somebody stole his entire herd, and he never ranched again. But his name stuck to the creek, the spring, and the trail. Higher up, you cross the Highline Trail. That one's been here since 1870. Homesteaders used it. Zane Grey used it, hunting these woods before the Dude Fire took his cabin in 1990, just a few miles east of where I'm standing. Trail eases you along the creek, crossing it a few times and gaining elevation gradually until you hit the spring at the base of the Mogollon Rim. That's the source, cold, clear, and pouring straight out of the rock like it's been doing forever. Long before Horton, long before any of us. This is one of the two Horton Spring outlets. Wasn't really flowing that much, but it was still very beautiful to watch it come out the side of the mountain like that and cascade down along the side of the cliffs. Yeah, this area is actually quite rugged, but along the creek there are several dispersed campsites that have formed over the years, and we were actually quite lucky to find this particular one, which was very level and has a nice fire pit and other amenities, not the least of which the fact that we can just sit and enjoy the sound of the creek rushing by as we lounge about. Now that's a mighty fine eating. And later that night we saw this beautiful sunset and this spooky tree. It's 4 o'clock in the morning and I am getting ready to head up to the rim as close as I can get to hopefully make it in time to catch the sunrise. It's going to be a steep hill climb. I'm literally just over the Horton Spring right now, and the climb ahead of me is pretty steep. I'm not there yet. Not even close. But that's been grueling just getting to this point. I'm probably not even going to make it to where I was hoping to go. I have had time. Learned some lessons. And we'll talk about those lessons later. But this view, when the sun does come up, this is going to be amazing. So at least for all the pain I've endured, it's going to be something. Yeah, it was an ambitious goal to try to get all the way up to the rim this morning. It's just over a mile, but I don't hike this strenuous of hikes on a regular basis. In addition to that, I didn't download the map and spent a lot of time checking to see where I was on the map, and I got off the trail and it was just one problem after another. So I got quite a ways, and I'm going to sit right here on the hill and rest my legs and enjoy the view. And you can't see them because the trees are hiding them, but there's so many of them out there just flying around. Yakking. Probably making fun of me. So while we break down camp, let me just recap. That was 3.6 miles in and was a pretty good amount of hike for that 5-year-old. And we had a good time, enjoyed the creek. There's nothing really better than hiking along a creek. Although my sunrise hike didn't go as I had planned, it was still a gorgeous sunrise. I hope you enjoyed that. And I can't wait to go afterwards now and check in with all of my points and see what my Zora score looks like. All right, well, here we are. It's time to enter all of our information from our expedition and see how we did in our Zora score. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and upload my sunrise photo. There, beautiful photo. So this is what I ended up with. This is my best take. And this is a beautiful alpenglow reflecting off the clouds. Because of where I'm at, I don't get to this full disc, but that's okay. Sunrise is beautiful no matter what. And I'm going to go ahead and add some of the photos that I wanted to go ahead and save with my expedition in my archives. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and score. So what we do is we're going to let the algorithm that we have set up with Claude to go ahead and get us started. In order to do that, I've got to add some details about the hike so that we can help with the score a bit. So this gives a little extra detail. Go ahead and score the sunrise. All right, this is great. So the sky, it gives a color intensity. I think it was a good intense color, but I still think that we have a little bit more we can do with it. So we're going to dock that a little bit. Cloud engagement was pretty good. I'm still going to dock that a little bit because I really think that we can do a little better there as well. The horizon definition is really being very generous to me. I think I'm going to dock that as well. And the setting, the native grasses, desert vegetation, it likes that. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that. The location uniqueness, the photo actually does represent the uniqueness, and it was an absolutely gorgeous location. So I'm going to leave that 13. The access difficulty, I got a little bit of a bonus because I got off trail, because I reached the point that I did in spite of the treacherous conditions that I put myself into. I may just ding myself 1 point from that, but I do like that I did spend some effort getting to where I went. And the weather, as far as the weather goes, I think the challenge was not that significant. So we're going to ding that down to a 2. And we did not make the summit. That was my goal. So I'm going to hit trail. And here's where one of my favorite parts where we get the extra points. And we're going to add some discoveries. Woodhouse Scrub J. So we can enter in what we got there and then have it identified. So what this is going to do is take that photo, and it knows the location of where this hike was, and it's going to make sure and verify that this particular animal that I've identified can be found there. And it did give me points for uncommonness of the Woodhouse Scrub Jay to be there. And another thing I like is we get a fun fact, which says these intelligent jays can remember thousands of cached food locations and use tools to extract insects. So the great thing is every time I entered, I can learn a little bit about the thing that I discovered. Oh, it's a rock squirrel. And this is also common. I get 8 points for that. And they can live up to 9 years. Excellent climbers and often seen scaling cliff faces. So this is a plateau striped whiptail. It's a lizard that I discovered up there, which I thought was kind of cool. This is also uncommon, so we got 20 points for the whiptail. What about this? It's a fast lizard, can run up to 15 miles per hour, and found primarily in Arizona's high desert plateaus. Another thing I found out about as I did my research off camera is that they're all female, every one of these lizards. And they reproduce actually through a process that's very similar to cloning. It's not really cloning, but it's kind of like that. That was pretty cool. I identified that already as a woods rose. There we go. Now we get that, 20 points. And the woods rose hips rich in vitamin C, traditionally used by Native Americans for food and medicine. So I got all of that done. I'm going to enter my field notes. All right, we'll save it. Here we go. All right, so I went from scout to trailhead, got my first gem, and there you have it. So I'm looking forward to earning my next gem in the next episode. I hope you'll join me. I haven't decided where I'm going yet, but we'll find out soon. See you next time.